then you can stroke up the leg a bit, and all that's doing is because these muscles and joints aren't moving as they normally should, the mechanism for getting rid of the waste from the tissues isn't working as well. So if you stroke up at the beginning and again at the end, then you're helping the body to take away any sort of toxins, if you like, that you're releasing while you're doing that, because that's how the muscles metabolise. You know, they get rid of it through that way. So then I'll show you the passive range of movement in a second, and then I've put the heat pack, the massage neck, shoulders along the back and the body, either side of the incision in a circular movement for about 5 minutes. It's not set in stone, really. It's not, you know, these are our suggestions, and what I do, whatever really suits her, and you're better with the massage. Right, passive range of movement. This would be, I don't think you're going to lay down, are you? Basically, what we're doing, again, because at the moment she's not bending her legs and straightening them normally, so the danger is that her joints might get a little bit stiff. Yeah. So what we do is we call passive range of movement, which just keeps them flexible. And when you're moving any of the joints in the leg, you need to hold the upper hand still and just move the lower hand so that you're not moving both hands either side of the joint, which can cause sort of problems and soreness. It sounds worse. Once you've done this a couple of times, it's really easy. So with her toes, all you need to really do is just literally bend and straighten them up.
But you're holding quite tightly.
Yeah, I'm holding this hand still, and this would be, you know, if you come on my lap a minute. Yeah. Can you bring the ball over to her? No, it's not going anywhere. You've got the ball right. That's it. Brilliant. So hold this hand still, and then just. You can use your fingers, you can use your palms, whatever you want to with her, or just do this. And then you've got her ankle joint there, so again, hold above it still, and then just bend and straighten. And you're not forcing it or doing it particularly hard, it's not doing anything other than keeping the joints flexible. This isn't really helping anything with the recovery, but it's just helping keep those moving. And then with the knee joint, which is here, this is a funny one with Daschund because their legs are so short. Let me move my hand a minute. That's it, good case. No, look at the ball, look at the ball. That's it. So again, with her relaxed and on her side, much easier, but hold one hand underneath the knee. It's hard to see a Daschund's knee, it's about here, the knee joint, so you can see that that's bent and that's straight there. And then when it comes to the hip, this is one of the more difficult ones, the hip joint's about up here and the knee joint's here. So her thigh bone's running down here. And if you bend the whole leg up and sort of forget about the rest of the leg, but just think there's a ball and socket joint here, this is the hip fully bent, and that's the hip fully straight. Does that make sense?
So it's rotating.
Yeah, so what I'm doing is, if you just concentrate on that joint, which is the same as ours, it's a ball and socket joint sitting in the pelvis. It's so hard to see on little dogs, but that would be the hip all the way back and the hip all the way bent, and that's just keeping the hip flexible. And then also what you want to do is slightly come in and out, because it's a ball and socket, you want to keep the fluid moving. And what all this does is, because there's cartilage inside all the joints, and the fluid that moves around the joint as the animal walks is what feeds the cartilage, so when that's not moving around, the cartilage does suffer, and we don't want her to get arthritis, basically. So while she's not moving properly, that's what we want to do. So that's the passive range of movement that I've shown you there. These pictures, obviously, they may help you or they may not. They're a much bigger dog, but I'll give them to you anyway because they might help. Some of the information at the top there is designed for our surgical cases that have had hip or knee surgery, so don't worry about that. I'll cross those bits off in a second. The other one is pinch between her toes to make her limb pull upwards. Gently hold the tension. Do this up to 5 times a day if she'll tolerate. Now, at some point she won't want you to do this, so you want to go in there a minute?
At some point, when she's recovered more?
When she's got more sensation back.
Yeah.
Madam, what are you doing? You're very excited. So, you hold the ball. Got the ball? So if you see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pinch, and she'll have that's the withdrawal reflex, so she's pulling that away from me. I don't want to hurt her, but what I do want is, as she's pulling away, she's exercising her own muscles. So if you can imagine, it's a bit like an exercise tension band, or you pulling against something, you're pulling your muscles. They don't tolerate it for particularly long. Once they've got a lot of good sensation back, they're like, get off, you're pinching my feet, I don't like it. But at the moment, pinching, she's pulling away, but don't let her, keep the tension on. And then that's making
the resistance bit.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we do suggest that, as I say, just do your best with that one. At some point, she's not going to like it. If it gets to a point you're having to pinch her quite hard, don't just give up with that one. Don't worry. And sometimes just tickling the pads when they get a bit more sensation is enough. gently hold the tension up to 5 times a day if you want, both limbs, if she'll tolerate it. If she won't, don't worry. This one, the bicycling movement, again, is to tell her head, it's another proprioceptive exercise, is to tell her brain where her feet are, because at the moment, she's not sure here where they are. So we want to train her nerves to tell her brain, again, the right way. So when you do a bicycling movement, it's sort of emanating the way that their joints move together. So it's not so much keeping them flexible in the passive range of movement that I've just shown you, but it's actually telling her head, this is how we want you to walk again. And that's what the treadmill would do for her, because the water supports her and enables her to do this. But I'm going to get you, hopefully, you've got a bath at home? Yeah, I'll write down the measurements and you can pop her in the bath at home. If you could put a non-slip mat in and then get her to walk up and down, that will help too. But this is, what I'm doing is I'm holding her quite firmly above her toes, bending the whole leg up, so her hips bent at the moment, her knees bent, her ankle joints bent, her toes aren't bent, but that doesn't matter, and then moving it forward, and then as you're touching it on the floor, just pull it along, because that movement of her, that touching her on the floor is sending signals that are going to go up to her head and tell her where her leg is. And we do normally about 15 of those on each side. Now, as she gets stronger, she'll start resisting that and she'll start holding her leg out. You can, if someone jabs you in the back of the knee, your knee goes, you can use that. You can actually put your thumb in the back of the knee to bend the leg when they start resisting. But again, at some point, that exercise, she won't let you do it. But we might not see you at that stage, so carry on with that for as long as you can. Sometimes in a bath with warm water, that's easier to perform because the water's holding her up, so they're more relaxed and you can do that. But again, just make sure the pads contact the floor. That's the cycling movement. With her supported in a standing position over the physio roll, which is the ball there, or a rolled up towel or over your leg. So really it depends. I don't think you need to buy a physio roll because she's improving quite quickly. So even if you can look at the height of her there, a rolled up beach towel would probably be fine. Yeah. But what you want to do, she's almost standing by herself anyway. So you probably, again, you won't need to do this for that much longer either.
She's obsessed with that.
Love this, don't you? I don't think they should buy one. You're going to make a hole in it.
Yeah.
It'll be no good, right? So what we do with these... Cry, what's the matter? No one's come on there. You just give her the ball again, Charlie, and see if that... Yeah, take your mind off that. No?
Frankie, what's this?
So... Oops, let's turn around so I can show you. So what this does is it keeps her back in the right position whilst her feet are in the right position on the floor. And if you rock her backwards and forwards... then it's actually putting some weight through the legs in quite a controlled way, which is difficult to do when you're holding her. Again, if she had a harness, you can actually shift her weight back a lot easier because the natural thing we want to do is move forward because they're not sure of their legs. But just this movement, and as she's pushing her feet down, I think, to be honest, she'll be better with a rolled up towel because this is almost too big for her. Yeah. So you can actually push her gently over her hips as well, and you can actually push some weight through the legs.
You're trying to put, I'm not sure what you're trying to do, just to move all of the leg or to put weight down onto the
weight
board?
shifting, so we're shifting the weight backwards and it's a gentle sort of rhythmic rocking motion. So it's two things really. It's making her, this is what she will start doing, she'll start trying to get off. Is your left leg stronger by any chance? But even this is good, even this is a good exercise for
her. That was always the really weak leg as well. When
the left one.
That was all wobbly.
Let's take you off this and try it on my leg, I think. And if you notice all the time, just try and keep her back straight, because as she's dragging herself around, that's the sort of area they put the most pressure on.
So we want to try and keep that straight all the time then.
She might be alright over your foot, or like I say, over a towel, but if you watch her posture straight away, she's gone forward. So you want to be able to push her back, so that you see how much harder she finds that, because she's having to push her own weight through. That's what we're trying to emulate with the physio roll, but it's too big for her really. And then as she slipped like that, if you correct her, Charlie, for me. So she slips like that, keep correcting her and holding her up, because the postural effort that she'll make to not go down again is still helping the muscles. Good girl. So like I say, with her, you don't want her to rest on you too much, you just want to support her, and you'll feel she's actually putting weight through those legs. So that's that one. So that's the supported in a standing position over the physio roll or a towel or over your leg as shown. Gently rock her backwards and forwards and side to side. Press down on the hips, so like I was showing you there, just press down and then press down to make that sort of bend and shift the weight forward. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then what I'll do is I'll just jot on here two more things. I'll get you to put her in the bath. Did we write down her depth in the treadmill? I don't think we did we? It's alright, I'll measure her. Oh, it's been...
The only thing with the bath, I'm not trying to be negative, is that she used to have lots of baths when she had her skin condition.
Yeah.
So she has got a bit anxious about going in the bath. She's probably fine with the water here because it's different content. Yeah. But I worry that if we're going to try and put her in the bath, she's going to panic and tense up or try and get away from us.
Yeah, if she does
that's my worry.
No, don't.
It was level 18.
Because she wouldn't associate that at all with the bath because it's different.
Okay,
to the extent where if we run a bath, she'll hide under the kitchen table.
No, that's fine. I wouldn't then, because the more she's thrashing around and struggling, the more likely she is to cause
I mean, she doesn't struggle masses before, but she was very, and now she's like that. I worry that would be
you're right.
counterproductive.
No, you're right. That's absolutely fine. Don't worry. The other thing I'm going to give you, this support here.
What's that? Rosemary Conley band sausage. We used to have Rosemary Conley.
Oh, do you?
You have to tie them around your ankles and do leg lifts.
All of our stuff.
It's very painful.
Oh, you're going to eat this as well?
Oh, it's rubbery, you see.
Oh,
she likes rubbery things.
You are a crazy dog.
We had to ban Kongs because she just got obsessed.
You have got obsessive personalities, you Daxons, haven't
you?
Stop it, it's very
exciting. Concentrate so she can actually pick herself up.
Yeah.
We watched her earlier.
I don't know if you've done yoga at all at home. I don't know if you've got things like yoga mats are brilliant for doing some of these exercises, or even bath, like an old bath mat or bath towel, because she will get much. The smell of rubber, isn't it? You're a weirdo. Can't eat it. So this, I don't want you to use this yet, because I will show you, but ideally probably in about a week when she's a bit stronger. I'll just try and measure. Are you particularly tall even with you?
Especially now.
Right.
About the same, really.
That should be fine. Yeah. There you go. So, two different supporting her. And this is really mainly when she's going out to go to the toilet. So you can carry her out and just plonk her on the grass, but it's quite a good exercise to get her moving in the right way. Again, with a harness and a lead, so that you can tip her weight back, because otherwise, again, she's going to do this. So this one, say you're at the end of the day, she's pretty tired. You don't need to do any exercise. You just want to take her out for a quick pee. Then use this one because you can see how much support that gives her. It's literally just supporting her. She can.
And we can use that to take her out for a wee as of today.
Yeah. We've been using this here to take her out. Yeah. The only thing you want to watch is that she's not going to scuff her feet. So if you have to go over patio or any gravel drive, you might want to just lift her up. You can get her. You can get boots for them, but the trouble being it deadens the sensation.
You only try and get them off anyway.
Yeah, and it deadens the sensation to the feet, which defeats some of the object, because we want her to be getting this sensation through. So use this one, as I say, for the next few days, just to get her up and going. I suspect she's going to have a lot more strength. You're a monkey, aren't you?
She's a chopper up.
I'm sorry.
What's this? What's this?
Can you have that one?
We have got other rubber toys that you can choose if you want to. So this one, if you could maybe wait about a week, or if you're not sure at all, give us a ring, but she'll be ready for it reasonably soon. If you watch how differently she moves with this on, she has to make a bit more of an effort with this.
Because there's not as much width of support.
It's not a solid band holding her up. It's a slightly stretchy band, a bit like when, I don't know if you've got children, but when you're teaching children how to walk, you know, they're in those like baby swing things. It kind of gives them a certain amount of leeway. They can't fall over, but it gives them the opportunity to correct themselves. So with this, come on then, hop up a minute.
So that's kind of around her thinnest bit.
Yeah, really. right up in front of her back legs.
Yeah.
Come on, move.
Go on, show now, good girlie.
Sometimes you might have to. Good girl. So if you see how much better she actually places her legs, she's not doing it massively, obviously. Does she like squeaky toys?
Oh, man.
Does she? Can you go and grab a squeaky band?
Yeah, because she's gone off the ball now because she's obsessing about the band.
Yeah, you want the band now, don't you? Where's she gone? She's going to get you a toy. Right, this isn't how we want you to stand. Let's get you standing. Come on, man. What's this? So again, if you could imagine if she had a harness on.
Yeah.
She's pulling a lot on that at the moment. Oh, hello. Right, so if you could just hold it at the end of that mat.